Yeah, here we go. This
Jeez.
is Cheesy Bear, and this is our first time ever having an NFL draft prospect, but a player coming on our show. Carl, we've been talking about it for a while. How are you doing, man?
Good man. Good to finally touch base with you guys, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, dude. I've enjoyed watching your highlights. You were standout at the Tropical Bowl. Med has been diving deep, and he's been texting me about it the last few days. He's like, "Dude, this kid looks good." We were getting really excited for the show because one of my dreams with this podcast was to meet more podcasters, which we've been starting to do, and to bring some players on. So thank you for joining us, man.
Thanks for having me.
Med, how are you doing, bud? I love how you're Coach Med today.
Yeah, no, I had to switch it up for my dude right here. I was talking to him earlier about it right before when you were getting your drink, and I told him, I said, dude, I'll be straight up with you, and it's a thing of pride, and I get this. When you're able to do something to where you like exude it, really and truthfully, he's one of the best blocking receivers I have personally seen at this level. And I mean, he was just blowing people.
Yeah, man.
You don't really see many receivers pancake blocking. And it was really kind of refreshing for me, being a guy that's been in the trenches for his little bit of career, to really just watch that. And I truly did enjoy that. Thank you, Carl, for exuding the chefmanship of pancakes on some defensive backs.
I appreciate you.
Um, so we got a lot of questions. I know you started during COVID, but let's go further back, man. When did you fall in love with football? How old were you? Give us your background before high school and college, man.
For sure. I started playing Little League ball when I was 4 years old. The
Heck
coaches
yeah,
were
dude.
telling me like, yeah, he's 4, he can't come till he's 5. My mom told me I cried so hard just to stay out at practice. And since that day, like it's been all or nothing, all gas, no bricks from day one. Like it could be a random day. I see my coaches, I'm outside doing like up downs, and like I just always wanted to play football. Like, I've had a passion for this like
Yeah,
all
dude.
my life.
I love that. That was my biggest dream, and I quit freshman year, and I've regretted it since. And starting this podcast is it's fun because I get to like from the outside see it. But man, I'm so proud of you for
Yeah.
following your dream and continuing to go with it, man. When did you start to think that there was a shot for college and possibly ball beyond there? When did you like? When were you like, hey, man, I'm going for this?
All right. I grew up with my mom and dad, and my mom, I'm her first boy, so I was like, I told her what high schools I had to go to. I told her what I had to do to get into college. Like I've really been putting this thing together piece by piece, like all my life. I'm trying to make my dreams come true. So I told her like I have to get into a private school. I ended up going to private high school, ended up getting into college, ended up getting the grades, everything I had to do, to get to where I am because I felt like I belonged here. So it's always been the goal. I always played to play with the best.
I love it, dude. Seriously, that's awesome, man. Med, I don't want to take all of them. You got one?
Well, no, I got plenty, and I got something I could do a little bit later. But I mean, whenever you actually talk about playing football and everything like that, there's other sports that typically that you will excel at that you can actually use the skills that you develop in that into the game. Like for instance, I was a defensive lineman, so I actually wrestled too. So it
Fire.
actually helped with the hands and everything like that. Was there another sport that you actually played outside of football that you can use on the field as well?
100%. I grew up playing basketball and football. I think my dad wanted me to be a basketball player instead of a
My
football
dad too.
player early. But yeah, learning how to dribble the ball, crossovers. I kind of compared that to my releases at the line as a receiver. Having good body control, staying low. And I still play basketball for cardio to this day. Like I'm always in the gym just for extra workouts. Play with my guys, play with the boys. It's fire.
And that's really cool because I do know that I was looking at your stats and everything. Of course, you led your team in yards per catch.
Yes,
And
sir.
I mean, a lot of people, you're that deep threat. You got good hands. As far as like what do you think is your biggest strength that you will be able to offer a team in the future whenever they draft you?
Um, a big aspect that I really take pride in is off the field. My character, like off the field, my energy. I'm a leader and I'm a competitor. Like I'm playing to win. I'm trying to make everybody around me better. I've been a captain of a team, so I knows what it takes to win. Like I'm a competitor. I want to see everyone around me win. But and skill based wise, I'm gonna go get the ball. That's another thing. Being a competitor. I'm gonna go up and get it. Like I'm gonna go up and get it. I'm gonna compete.
So you got that little bit of Steve Smith in you, huh?
Got that dog in me.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
That that leads me to my question. When you were a kid, because I'm in my 30s, Ben's in his 40s. I remember Steve Smith, man. I grew up. I heard you guys when I was putting my headset on earlier about some Packer players, but who did you idolize? Not it doesn't just necessarily have to be at the receiver position, but who did you look up to when you were a kid? Who did you want to be?
Who did I want to be? That's a great question. I told him my favorite. I'm a Packers fan because of
Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers. I am a Packers fan.
yeah, love
But
it.
only because his leadership and his confidence and his swagger. Like being a quarterback, you have to have the confidence on the field. And in his Packer days, he was that guy, and he knew he was that guy. And he just exuberated confidence for his whole offense, for his whole team. So
Yeah.
that's the kind of guy I feel like I always wanted to be like. Like I want to be on the field and have my guys confident when I'm on the field. Like we know he's out here with us. We're gonna be good.
You know what's funny is I loved Aaron Rodgers. He bothered me a little bit at the end of his career, but watching that dude play at his apex was one of the most gifted players I've ever seen. It was pretty special. Like I didn't get to see Walter Payton. That's the Bear. There's a lot of Bears greats, but Walter Payton
sure.
was just
Mhm.
special. Like you're never going to see another guy like that. And I feel like Aaron Rodgers was like that.
I was telling
Is there-
Matt, I'm like, yeah, seeing the Aaron Rodgers ball is insane. Like catching the ball
Heck
and
yeah.
Aaron Rodgers passes is fire. It looks
Oh, it's so
beautiful.
tight. Like when you sit there and you watch
Perfect
the
spiral.
where yeah, I was sitting there and and of course I have to just sit there and watch it happen. It was like he was Kendrick Lamar and I was Drake, and I was just sitting there just taking it like he did in the Super Bowl, and I'm like, oh my god, this dude is just lighting us up. It's just unreal. And the fact that you're at the point that you are in your young football career still. I mean, you've been playing for a while,
For sure.
but you're what, 23, 24 right now?
Just turned 23.
Yep,
Heck yeah,
23
man.
years old.
Yeah.
I mean, still young, dude. And I mean, you're
I know. I feel
still
old now.
developing your screw. How do you feel right now? What is the biggest satisfaction of where you're at right now?
Like I've been saying since the Tropical Bowl and the FCS Bowl, I haven't felt this way about football in a very, very long time. Like probably since I was like younger playing. Like I'm getting a little bit of recognition. Like you said, I'm still early in my career, so it's putting a chip back on my shoulder. Now it's like I'm finally at this stage where I feel like I deserve to be here and I deserve the recognition. I deserve the shot to play with the pros. So now I'm like more motivated than ever. I can say like I'm ready to succeed at the next level. Like I've always liked the plan. I'm ready to finish the plan.
Is there a player out there right now that you feel like I know? Well, actually, I don't know this. I've got a double question for you. Do you like when you're coming out for the NFL draft and they comp you to players in the NFL now, or do you feel like you want to blaze your own trail, or do you like those comparisons because you see part of your game in that player? How do you feel about that?
I mean, I love an NFL comparison. You make it to the NFL and you're a good receiver. Like it's always good to have your name in the same names as those other. So I never take no offense to it. I definitely feel like I bring my own skill set to the game, but like I grew up watching Jarvis Landry. We have similar running strides. So people always be like, oh, you remind me of Jarvis Landry. So it's like, okay, I like Jarvis Landry. I like watching him play. Like I like Devontae Adams. I learn from all of these players. So when you hear your name in the conversations, like you remind me of him, it's just great. It's just praise. You feel me? I can never be mad at it.
And what you just said is something I always preach to my players when I was coaching them, is that whenever you actually want to get great at a position, when you want to really develop yourself, the best thing that you need to do is you need to go on YouTube and you need to watch the tapes from the greats and just take little bits and pieces of their game. Now, I was a defensive end, so we may have seen each other a couple times if I still played and I was on the field with you. But the way that I looked at it is, I was more of an edge rusher. I was 6 foot and about 230 pounds. So I had to use speed. And so, I mean, I couldn't really just go up there and Bruce Smith anyone. Besides Jarvis Landry, who has a great stride, great hands. In fact, that's the one thing I remember about Jarvis Landry the most, is he could catch just about anything thrown to him. Is there any other persons whose game that you actually took a little bit from to develop it into your own?
All-time great, another Packer legend, Devontae Adams. His release game, like he's what some would say some of the best receiver in the game right now. Like he can get the ball every play. He can get open every play, and I feel like that's what you want to be as a receiver. You want to be able to be a factor every play. Like people respect his game every play. When a corner lines up on the island with Devontae Adams, like they know they have to bring their best stuff because he's going to bring his best stuff. So I feel like that's how I want to approach the game, especially at the next level. Like I want to be able to compete every play and be able to be an option every play.
I like that.
I like that a lot. And the Devontae Adams comp I like because what made him special, his hands, his strength, his speed are he's not even like the fastest guy, but his release game at the line, he beats you right there. He still is doing it at 32. Like if the Packers were to bring him back, he'd probably be the best receiver. Like I think
wide receiver one.
He'd be our receiver one. It may not be for a long time, but he'd be our receiver one right now. He'd still be the best receiver. So sure. I kind of wish they'd never let go of him, honestly. I like a lot of the receivers. I like your Med nailed it with your blocking, man. Where do you see yourself? You've already said a lot of this, but let's say you get drafted by an NFL team, which would be phenomenal. Like that's the dream.
Oh, dude, I'll be proud for you.
That's the dream, man.
Because I mean, that's one of the things a lot of people don't really understand is that when a former athlete looks at a current athlete, and we already realize our time is done. We're done.
Right.
But you really want to see someone else that progress to that next level. You want them to do a little bit better than what you did, if not a lot better. Sure. Now sometimes when you're in NFL and you like, for instance, Tua Tagovailoa with Dan Marino, I know Dan doesn't want him to break his records. I mean, let's be real. But at the same time, because we're sitting here talking to you and we are listening how you are, you sound like a great young man. We want that,
I appreciate that.
Not just us, but other athletes as well. So
heck yeah.
I appreciate that for sure.
So let's say you do get drafted. Where do you see yourself contributing? Because I've seen you made some moves on special teams. You made a lot of, I'm looking at your stats. I've seen some of your highlights. Some of the stuff you sent me. I saw that you made a difference there. Like Med said, you made a difference with your blocking. Got a lot of skill as a receiver.
Where top off the defense too.
Exactly.
I mean,
yeah. Where do you see yourself contributing?
Honestly, wherever. Anything I have to do to make a 53-man roster, like I'll go down there and tackle on special teams. I'll run on punt return, run on punt. Like I just want an opportunity. That's really where I'm at with. I could definitely contribute on offense, but whatever I have to do in order to get an opportunity, I'm willing to do.
Awesome, man. I love it, dude. Seriously, this is great. What I saw, and it was a while back, I saw that you had been talking to some NFL teams. How did that go? How did you feel like that process went? If you're okay with alluding, I saw who you talked to, but if you want to share for the show, who have you spoken with?
I was at the Tropical Bowl. I was a standout performer. I met with a few teams. I've talked with the Bears, Steelers, Jets, Patriots, Dolphins, and the Colts. And it was awesome. That's my first time being in a room with, playing football in my life. That's my first time being in a room with NFL personnel, hands-on. I know these guys are NFL. I know they're here to talk to players. So I was in the room introducing myself to all the teams that were there. I spoke with those teams, but I've had conversations with everybody just because that was my first time being in that room. And I wanted to, put my hand in front of these guys, give them handshakes, introduce myself, tell them who I am. And it was just an awesome experience for me. It changed the trajectory for me for sure because now that once one team's interested, a lot of teams, you feel me? And then from there, it's just been compiling.
Awesome. Got my dad watching too. I know I told him that you're coming on. I know he's excited. I love that you met with the Bears for Med. I wish the Packers had met with you. That would have been so sick. Do you have a dream land? I know getting drafted by anybody would be awesome, but of those teams, is there one particular?
Honestly, no, because
anybody.
I'm just now getting to the point where it's okay, dreams may be reality. So I haven't never got to the point where it's okay, this is where I want to go. I all 32 teams are nice cities. I don't care where I end up.
Yeah, I think I'd be right there with you. I'd be like, whoever wants to draft me, whoever wants to do it.
For sure.
I love it, man. I've got a lot of college questions for you, but
Yes, sir.
ooh, well,
What if you return a punt against the Packers and do you do a Lambeau leap? Ah,
I think you have to. I
gotta
would.
do a Lambeau leap. But
I
maybe
would.
not the very first touchdown. I gotta give my praises to God, but I get a Lambeau leap then if I get the opportunity.
I'm going to tell you right now, if I made the NFL and I was playing against my Packers and I scored a touchdown, I would absolutely do Lambeau.
The fans might push you back down. I
Yeah,
don't
they
know.
will.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. They'd be like, get
Many
out
have
of here.
tried and a lot has failed.
Yeah.
Good one, man. I like that.
Yeah, like that.
Ned, I know you got a bunch. You want to kick? You want to do a couple?
Oh well, I can go ahead and start the little thing I was telling you about.
Oh yeah.
All right, well, hold on. As a former coach, I have some questions that I'm just burning to ask. Welcome to Coach Med's hot seat.
Okay, fire.
You like that? I literally just made it 30 minutes ago.
Ooh,
I was like,
just
let me
used-
try something different. So one of the things that I always kind of enjoyed when I was playing, and I'm pretty sure you do the same thing, is that there are usually something that is crazy. Like you have your own pre-game warm-up, your own thing that you do before the game. For me, it was basically I just went into the darkest part of the room and just sat there and got angry.
For sure.
So one, what is your pre-game ritual, and what is the weirdest one you've ever witnessed?
The weirdest one I've ever witnessed. First off, my pregame ritual, I eat Starburst minis before every game. The
good
candy
choice.
minis. Yeah, Starburst minis for every game. And a lot of prayer and music. I got music, but I'm on my knees. I'm trying to get my mental right, trying to feel light. And the craziest pregame I've seen guys drink like pickle juice and mustard, to like avoid cramps and stuff. I don't know if I could
I've
do
seen
that.
it.
It's gonna upset my stomach like before that. I'm not into that. But I've done smelling salts last year. Last year, my first year doing smelling salts, I kind of did like that. Like it had me woke up really in the moment. Like, yeah, I enjoyed that as well.
One of the things, and I told Isaac about this, was we had a player that we would actually go hunting around for crickets. And so you know where this is going. So we'd find him a cricket and we'll take it back to him, and it could be one, it could be two, it could be whatever. And we would hand it to him, and we're like, why do you need the cricket? And he was like, this is what I do before every game. And he popped it in his mouth and just started chewing on it.
No way. That's
and
insane.
we're sitting there like, what is going on? So before every game, we would go look for this cricket and feed it to him. He was like our own pet tarantula or something.
He's getting his protein in.
Yeah, he did.
Ned, I'm gonna hijack really quick. What's your song that you jam to? Just because you're on it.
I listen to a lot of Kodak
like
Black.
Band.
I listen to a lot of Kodak Black, older Kodak Black.
All right.
That's good.
Heavy. Some NBA Youngboy. A lot of like super hype turnt music to get me ready to go. Super hype turnt music.
No, I ask because at the gym I have a hard rock list, or I'm listening to Kendrick Lamar, or occasionally pop, but that just doesn't get me going at the gym. I love it, but I got to get something to get me going.
Yeah, you gotta have the juices going.
Yeah, exactly, man. Like AC/DC is like one of my things. Like I love it. So, cool, man. I love it.
Who had the biggest impact on you, not just as a player, but as a human being?
Yeah, you gotta have the juices going.
Yeah, exactly,
I believe my mom for sure. My mom is like
I love it.
a super hard worker. She's always been a big major role model in my life. I've done a lot, just trying to further her story from mine. Like you said, you always want the people next after you to like set the bar higher. I've always been proud of my mom and what she's done for me in my life. So like for me, it's like, all right, let's set the bar even higher.
I feel that because the person for me was my dad. And when I was growing up and everything like that, they never missed a game. Not once. And I mean, it would be a monsoon and everything, 2 inches of water. You're tackling something, you look up, there's mom like, yeah. So
yeah, my mom's definitely a role model.
Missed a game. And you said that you're the oldest of how many kids?
I'm the youngest. I have
you're
3 older sisters. I'm the baby of 3 sisters.
Oh, all right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm the baby too. So I got
Yes,
away.
sir.
Well, supposedly I got away with a lot.
And they always say that about the youngest.
Ned, you got a couple good comments really quick from Mr.
All right,
U. My dad's
go
got
for
a
it.
fun one too.
Go for it.
I can't hit him because
All right. Oh,
I'm not logged
'cause-
in.
all right. So first one up. I already did that because that was me. How about if you score a TD in Kansas City, will you dunk the football over the goalpost?
Why not?
mean-
That stadium is insane. That stadium is super duper loud. I know it's like a crazy atmosphere in there.
Oh, dude, I could you get up that high? What's your vert?
Oh,
Yeah, I'm gonna try to jump at least 36 on my pro day, probably higher though.
heck
But
yeah.
I have
I
like
like it.
baseline things for sure.
I want
What-
you to actually let us know how you do on your pro day. That'd be
Yes, sir.
awesome.
I got to
Um,
hijack really quick. What do you project your 40 to be? I get really into this
Anything
stuff.
anything under a 4.5. Like for me right now, I definitely think I can run some 4.4. But like for me, my cutoff is like we don't even know what a 4.5 is right now. Like, that's the mental I've been training myself. Like I'm trying to run a 4.3 if I can, but like
Yeah.
right now it's just a cutoff. Like we just certain things we can't do.
How many bench reps do you think? 225. Have you done that yet?
I have, but in the beginning of camp last year, I kind of had an AC injury, so I'm still determining on. I'm still working with that. I probably could get
it's my
like 10
issue.
reps, but it's like, I
yeah.
don't want to
Yeah.
strain myself and like
I had
end
to
up
cut
bad.
down the weight because it's happened for 10 years. So it started in my 20s, and I have to like be careful with it. So I completely understand. So no,
Yeah,
I got
AC
you.
joint
I
is
got you.
super. Yeah.
Yeah. It's annoying. It really is.
So this is actually I already know the answer what I saw people do, but so what do you think when footballs have to go to the bathroom? What do they do?
They get the tent out.
I'm going to run to the bathroom, me personally, but some guys on the field are not. Some guys are going to stay out there and let it run down their leg. Some guys are going to do that. I know some guys. I know
Yeah.
some guys.
I mean, there was I can't remember the guy's name, but he was a tight end, and his thing is he would pee in the towels and then throw them at the
That's
trainers. And I was like, that's
insane.
disgusting. I'm with you. I'm gonna be like, look, I know that we have a couple more downs.
I'm gonna be
go
2
run
seconds,
real quick.
guys.
Yeah, just give me a minute.
I love it, dude.
Mr. Tom, what
That's
is your
my dad.
best trait as a receiver?
He gets super into
Um,
scouting, so he's gonna go look. He's already started looking up all
Well,
your
he's
stuff.
gonna put you on this stuff. I sense
Yes.
it.
I'm a route runner. I love running routes.
Oh,
Like
Chris.
I love the one-on-one opportunity where it's me versus you. I have to win. I like crafting. I like being able to work with the quarterback. No, we have time in. No, like I'm gonna get open in my little one-on-one time.
Heck yeah, dude.
That's hot.
I love it. I love it. I got one really quick. What is your? I don't think we've asked this yet. What is your most memorable moment in your playing career so far? Like I'm betting your first college game.
I actually just
was-
had that. That was my next question too.
Dang it! Sorry,
You're
man,
good.
you asked it.
You're good.
You
Hey,
asked
you're
it.
good.
I'm sorry.
It's in the air already.
Yeah, you already got it. You already
Mhm.
served it up. Let's go ahead and just give it to him.
My favorite
go.
college memory is definitely my first college touchdown. It was at Lafayette. We were playing Holy Cross. Holy Cross was like really high ranked. I want to say it's early fourth quarter. We're down like 3. I go up for a one-handed back shoulder grab, and this is my first college touchdown. I get up, I'm screaming and everything. It was fire. It was a memory I'll never forget. Like that's when I felt like I arrived. Like I've showed it on the game. Like I arrived. I'm here, everybody. Like this is Carl Smith.
Heck yeah, dude. You've already hit heights that like I didn't even make it out of. I only played a little bit in high school. You've already hitting heights that most people don't hit in their playing career to try to make any professional NFL like football league. You're
Right.
already there, man. So that's legit, dude. That's really cool.
I appreciate you.
Yeah.
So, what's your favorite memory you ever witnessed on the field? Not
On the
necessarily
field.
you, but someone else.
My favorite on the field memory.
That's a good one.
That's such a good one. I've seen so much, and I'm there in person on the field.
Yeah.
Watching a lot of high school ball. I can't lie. Watching a lot of high school ball and seeing like when I was younger in high school, seeing like guys who are 4 stars, 5 stars, now guys who are in the NFL, like watching those guys compete, win state championships. Pennsylvania football is some really good football. So I've seen like a lot of greats come through. And it's just like I really watched this guy go from high school to the NFL, like perform in high school. I probably played against him. I probably like so stuff like that, being from the Philadelphia area and watching guys win on the football field and progress and make it professional, that's something I'll never take for granted. You feel me? It's like you always want to be next, you want to be the next guy.
And so I've actually told Isaac this. I played with two guys that made it to the NFL. One was Greg Jones, who ended up being fullback for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and he used to run my ass over in practice all the time. And the other one was Darnell Washington, who played for Clemson, but ended up playing for 3 years for your Green Bay Packers as a defender.
I worked at a school, and it's when I started as an educator, which I can't believe I'm in my 12th year, I believe. And it was later on when I was there. I think it was my last year. I was an aide, but Christian Kirk was at the high school. It was in Arizona, Solano High School. In that school, man, they ripped off state championships. They were like one below in that state, below like the highest like rank. Like they weren't as big of a high school, but they had ripped off like 7 out of 10. And he was part of one of those runs. It was pretty cool. I got to see him play. I thought he was special then, and then he went to A&M, and he went to go play in the NFL. He's still playing, so yeah, that's kind of
cool. For sure. It's nice to watch those guys' journey, and really, you feel like you're a part of it, low key. Like even though you wasn't there, you feel like you're a part of it on the football field.
Well, this is kind of a dream come true for me because I almost went for journalism, and I love teaching, but this is like the other thing I would have gone for would have been sports broadcasting. So to get to talk to you about football is like this is kind of a dream come true for me too.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, man. 6. Are you? That's that. I was gonna. He got mine this time. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Where are you? Are you about that weight? Where are you at right now?
I am literally that weight. I'm probably gonna put on a few more pounds. I started off pretty light. Like I've always been smaller. I feel like that's helped me like my releases and everything. But I'm just now starting to be around 180. Like I've always been a smaller guy, smaller, faster. I kind of just grew into my body, even though I'm a little bit older. But like I've just been 6 foot, 180, touching 184, 185. Like I've just now started to do that as I'm getting older. I've always been playing like lighter, smaller, being the smaller guy. But I mean, I feel like my size is nice. And if you watch my film, like size is everything to me. Like I'm gonna go out there and block. I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna take it off your head. Whether I'm gonna play how I'm gonna play, regardless of wherever weight I am at or whatever. I'm gonna go out there and compete.
Like a Santana Moss back in the day.
Oh, Santana Moss.
He was nice.
Like that.
Was nice.
So I got a couple other football ones, but I'm gonna dabble outside of it a little bit. What is your biggest guilty pleasure movie or TV show?
Oh,
guilty pleasure movie or TV show. My favorite movie of all time is Scarface. That's nice. Like a legendary. It's like you see him go from the bottom to the top. I mean, I guess it could be a guilty pleasure. He's not doing the best in that movie. He's not doing the best things, but you literally see a man go from the bottom to the top. It was motivating. I watch that whenever it's on Netflix. They bring it back. I'm watching it.
Hell yeah,
for sure. It's my favorite.
No, that's a cult classic right there, dude. And he does get up to the top, but he goes right back down.
You see what the power does for sure.
Yes, sir.
What the power does to him.
So you did talk about this Starburst minis. What is your favorite snack?
My adult favorite snack now is Reese's. When I was a kid, I kind of didn't like it, but now that I'm like, my adult taste buds are heavy into the Reese's chocolate peanut butter.
Reese's are great, dude. I love it.
I can eat one every day.
Do you have a favorite sports movie by any chance? It doesn't have to be football
favorite sports
necessarily.
movie. My favorite sports movie.
Blades of Fury.
That's a good one.
I think one that's super memorable. A super memorable one for me because I'm a big Adam Sandler guy. The Longest Yard was fire.
Yeah,
The Longest Yard was a fire movie.
Oh, dude. So I know a lot of people put hate on that because of the old school one with Burt Reynolds, but I actually liked it. It had some good comedy. Brucey's Time to Shine.
It was funny, yeah. It was funny for sure.
The memes now when like they had Patrick Mahomes, which was kind of mean because he's in the Super Bowl. It's like why can't I be the quarterback? Okay, hit me. And he throws it over his head.
And it's Brucey.
Brucey's like, that's why. Sit down and shut up.
Yeah, that's my favorite sports movie.
My dad had a really good one. How do you do with getting off the line of scrimmage? How's your release? We hit that earlier with Devontae. How's your release game? How do you feel like? Do you think that's the strength? How are you
Um,
feeling about that right now?
I'm a technician, so when I go up to the line, I'm going out there, I'm diagnosing safety so I could get a feel for read what the coverage might be. I'm looking at the shade, whether he's head up, inside or outside.
Hmm.
I'm looking at film from previous, seeing if he's a handsy guy, seeing if he wants to get on my face, if he wants to beat. Um, so I'm really like detailed into that because, like I said, I was a smaller receiver. I used to not saying have problems, but my biggest fear was like getting held up at the line. So I've always had to be ready at releases. Like I never wanted to be a guy that's like he can't get off. So I've always prided myself on being able to get off the ball and being able to know what's happening in that quick second off the snap.
I love this because I
So,
used to play receiver in high school, and that was my strength. That was something I wanted to be good at, and I wasn't. I was too small, but that was something I tried to get better at. Sorry, Med. You're good.
well, I was going to say, I mean, you got to be able to use your hands. That is the one thing that is constant with every single position is you got to be able to use them hands.
Yes,
And,
sir.
to disengage the press in your case, in my case, it was get away from the block. Or if I was playing on offensive line, I wanted to get you nice and close.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
Got to be violent. Yes,
yeah.
sir.
So,
Is there a coverage you like to see like that? You're like, oh yeah, they're playing zone. Okay, this guy's gonna press me. I'm gonna beat him off the line. They're playing man. I can get this guy. Is there something you're like when you see it? You're like, oh, I got this. I got
I'm
this.
guessing he's a man guy.
Yeah, if the safety's on the other side of the
Mhm.
hash and it's just me in the corner over there, that's my favorite. But I mean, I'm like the diagnosis though. I do like going against certain zones. Like if it's a cover three and this corner wants to slow to go back out of there, and I have like a dig or a curl route, I can play with my
Mhm.
route. I can play with my release. He's not going to put
That's
hands
it.
on me. He know he has to play deep. Like I'm gonna set you up. I'm gonna let you go where you want to go back, and then I'm gonna break. I mean, I like to diagnose all coverages.
Awesome, man. I got a lot of questions about future stuff, like what's coming up, but I know Med's got a lot more, so I'll ask those a little later.
No, we've
Mhm.
pretty much plowed through the 10 that I have, but
Heck yeah.
in 5 years, where are we going to see Carl Smith?
Hopefully, still playing on somebody's NFL roster, making an impact in my neighborhood and community, and just being a good role model for people around me, and like showing other people that it's possible.
I like it.
And I hope we're bringing you back on in 5 years and you're playing for the Green Bay Packers. That's what I'm hoping. Green Bay Packers. If I knew somebody in the front office, my buddy knows people with the Titans, so I'm going to tell him to reach out to them. But they're picking at number one, obviously. But if you're, I want you playing for the Packers. I think that they need to draft you.
So, question
Anywhere,
for you,
man.
and I actually asked this a while back. Would you rather have a Super Bowl ring or a Hall of
Ooh,
Fame career?
That's a great question. Um,
that is a great question.
a Super Bowl ring because I've won a championship in college, and like the feeling that I get from that team and that one season's experience is things that I'll hold on to my entire college career no matter what. Like just the camaraderie that it takes to win a Super Bowl or a championship at any level. The brotherhood in that locker room means something more than it's really priceless. Like to go and win and be playing when guys are home and guys are on vacation and it's just you and your brothers grinding. We still here
Mhm.
while we ain't with our families. Like we still playing. Like that means something to me. Like being able to still compete.
It's the sacrifice.
Yes,
I love
sir.
it too. Okay, that was kind of the direction I was going. But you know what? Let's do this. I kind of want to ask some more college stuff, but we've hit a lot of that. What is next in the process for you coming up? What do you got coming up in March? It's March 3rd today. What do you got coming up in March and April? What's next for you?
Right now it's just since really December, it's been nonstop training for my pro day. My pro day is March 27th.
Okay.
So right, everyday grind. There's literally tunnel vision, everyday grind. The draft is in April, so work hard, put good numbers up, and then get ready for the draft. Right now, that's all I've been.
I
Nothing
love it.
else. Tunnel vision.
Where will the pro day be broadcast at? And like tell me all
I
about that.
plan on doing my pro day at Temple, and it's
Okay.
close, local to home. And I don't know if it's going to be broadcasted, but I'll be at Temple University on March 27th.
If you have any highlights from it, man, I'll blow them up, seriously.
Yes,
So
sir.
send them to me, man. Okay, so you do the pro day in Temple. Um, who's all gonna be watching? Family,
Hopefully,
friends,
all
obviously.
32. Yeah, family, friends, my trainers. I mean, honestly, the way I'm feeling about it, I don't care who's there. Like, I'm so focused on this. I feel like a boxer in training camp right now. Like, I'm just working hard for that day. I'm ready for that day to come, ready to prove I'm who I say I am. And then that's just going to be that. Whatever I test, I'm not going to be too high. I'm not going to be too low because the work you put in, that's the results you get. So I'm
And that's
just level headed with that.
And that's the best way to actually take it, because you don't want to think about what's going on over there, because that's a distraction. You want to be able to focus on exactly what you need to do to get the job done. And when you do that, you put it all out there and everything, you'll be immensely satisfied by what you did out there for yourself.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
man. So you're hoping, so NFL teams you're hoping there are there, but you're gonna be, like Med said, you just gotta focus on getting your job done, obviously. I agree with my dad. We're gonna be rooting for you. Love it.
Appreciate you.
Who's gonna be throwing you the ball? Who's gonna be your quarterback?
If not somebody from there, I have local guys that I've been training with. I mean, I'm gonna catch it. Honestly, it don't matter who's throwing the ball. I'm gonna go get it. It's money on the line. I'm gonna catch it. Y'all can throw me the ball out there. I'm gonna go.
Oh, you don't want that. I'm a lineman. You do not want me to throw.
You know, man, I'm not gonna lie. I know we were planning on May, but if you have availability, if you want to come back on after the pro day, that'd be pretty cool. But
No, sure,
we'll figure it out, man. But this was, it was great meeting you, dude. I'm not gonna, seriously, I said it earlier when I mean it. One of my dreams with this, I want to get an NFL player on. I want to get a Packer on. It's like my long-term goal. I've actually heard back from Emmanuel Wilson. I don't know if his agent told him not to or not, but he did respond. But I want to get an NFL player on, and I really appreciate you being the first player to come on this show, because seriously, like, I treat it as a hobby, but it really does. It's just a blast doing this with Med. He's
a labor
awesome.
of love.
No,
Yeah,
for sure.
man.
What you guys are doing for like players, you feel me? Just an opportunity for us to share our story and get our names out there. Like, it's needed, because a lot of guys don't realize, like, after college is done and it's time to declare for the NFL, it's like nobody knows a lot of people that may get picked up or may get an opportunity. So it's like every opportunity we get as a player matters.
So
Carl,
this will be on my YouTube later. I'll be blowing it up everywhere, and I'll send it to you. And I'm hoping that it gets you some more steam. Hopefully, you get more people to see it, man. Seriously.
So Carl,
Yes, sir. I appreciate you guys.
this is what I want to see. In 2 years, you're going to take a punt back for the Chicago Bears in Caleb's crib, Lambeau Field.
He calls Lambeau Caleb's crib.
And I want you to swan dive after you score that touchdown into the Cheeseheads. Lambeau leap to your heart's content.
Yes,
And I just want you to do like that, and I'll be like, yeah.
I'm gonna shout you out. I'm gonna point to the camera and all that.
Hey, if you score a touchdown against Green Bay, I'm not even gonna be upset. Like I was telling Matt, I was like, I love that you're not there. Are the fraction of people it's less than that even that have an opportunity to do what you're trying to do right now. So
yes, sir.
I commend you, dude. Seriously,
And you're
good
keeping
luck.
humble about it. A lot of people won't do that.
I appreciate you guys.
I mean, that's extremely respectful, dude. I mean, it's really awesome to just sit here, talk to you for, only 30, 40 minutes and be like, just really just chopping it up. And we do appreciate you coming on here, being the first ever athlete that we had on our show. And thank you for this opportunity. Oh, you got one?
I got one more. Yeah, I got a couple. Oh. They're fun ones though. They're easy. What do the Packers need to do in free agency? Let's talk about our favorite team for a minute. They should sign
you.
Fine.
That's fine.
But me, what position do you think
he's a Bear?
Probably just go get a I'm not going to say wide receiver one. We do have a lot of good guys, but bringing in Josh Jacobs was a good piece. And he's a veteran, and he's like a proven NFL player. So I feel like whenever you add a guy with knowledge and somebody who has been proven, that always can help you. And we got a younger quarterback in Jordan Love. So, like, having him with somebody who already has a good resume, like, that'll probably be nice for the Packers. And that's really, like, we'll be close. Like, yeah, some pass rushers on defense, maybe. Yeah, like, we good in the back end, but, like,
I agree. Yeah. Pass rush and receivers where I think we need to. And if we let Jerry Alexander go, I think we need a corner, too.
That's going to matter. I just about to talk about that. Yeah, it depends about the DBs are nice now, but they're talking about letting him go. So, you'll have to see.
And Stokes possibly too.
Yeah.
Wow, you're releasing too many people.
Yeah, I know. What about Mets team? What do they need to do? Should they go draft Ashton Jeanty? What do you think about that move?
I feel like last year they have rookie quarterback, and last year they put together like one of the best rosters. I even like DeAndre Swift. He's a Philly guy. Like They have all the pieces. They probably just need an O lineman or two, a
Yes.
little bit of defensive pieces. They have all the pieces they need in Chicago. The conference itself is the best the conference. Like we have a
Okay.
lot of young up and coming talent in that conference.
Oh no,
so,
that division's going to be brutal the next few years. It's
Yeah.
just with
It's
Sam
gonna be-
Darnold possibly going to Las Vegas, or it's just so
the
many.
Vikings find a way to win in that division for sure.
Yes, they
Like
do.
even no matter they find a way to win in that division.
Heck yeah. I got one more. This is a fun one. I didn't even tease this to Med. I have a Dynasty Fantasy League. I'm about to start one with Med. And my dream is to draft you this year, stash you on my roster, and you're going to be a breakout performer for me in fantasy. So that's what I want to
Let's
see,
go.
man.
Let's
My
go.
dad's watching. I do a league with him. I'm going to tell him I'm drafting Carl Smith Jr. Let's do it.
Let's go, man. I'm trying to make something happen.
That's a good point. The Ben Johnson move is a big one. The Packers getting that defensive coordinator.
I like the defensive coordinator with Dennis
I'm
Allen.
drawing a blank. No. The Packers. From Boston.
Hadley.
Halfley.
Yeah.
He really did make a difference. But
the Bears coaching hire is definitely going to be different because the offense he just came from the Lions, and their offense was through the roof last year.
And what's crazy is a couple Lion fans have already talked to me because I'm a Bears fan, and they're already saying like they think that they're going to actually be more potent this year with both of their coordinators actually leaving. I mean, how do you feel about that?
I'm big on camaraderie. Like once you have a group of guys, like coaches definitely matter. Like I've learned that from my experience. But the group of guys that you have in that locker room, they're going to bring back another stout team from last year. Like only so much can change. They might get a few new plays, but like it's still Jahmyr Gibbs. You still got J-Mo, Amara St. Brown. You still got your quarterback. Like you still have all those young defensive pieces you just acquired. Like they're going to be a good team for sure.
Have you?
Sorry about that.
Have you been watching the scouting combine at all?
No, for sure. I have a few friends there. I've been
really?
glued to it. Me and my roommate from Virginia Tech, my freshman year, Dorian Strong, he's like my brother. I talk to him like every day. He performed really good down there. I've been talking. He's been telling me about it, telling me about his meetings, like telling me about the process because that's the dream.
Oh, absolutely. But
be able to perform like that, yeah.
Yeah. Who do you think is the biggest? I mean, it's pre-free agency, pre the draft, so this is kind of a silly question because the rosters are going to change a lot. But who do you think is going to be the biggest challenger to Philly in the NFC this year? Think it'll be Green Bay? You think it'll be Detroit without the coordinators? You think it's going to be Minnesota? You think the Bucks? Who do you see
in the NFC? You said,
yeah.
It's going to be hard to get the Eagles out of there.
Yeah, they're a little stacked, man.
Yeah, the Eagles are they're talking about getting Myles Garrett and some more. So it's like, I don't know. But maybe they see the Lions again. Our division is really hard. Like whoever wins out of our division is probably going to be who faces up against the Eagles. I don't see the Redskins. I mean, the Redskins are really, really, really good, but that Lions game was insane.
I like that you use the old.
I mean, the Commanders. But like,
no, I liked it. Ben loves it. Do you think the Packers? I got one last one. Do you think the Packers should trade for DK Metcalf? That's been all over the rumor mill. Yes. I don't know about the 23rd pick.
That a lot.
The 23rd pick and either Wicks or Romeo Dubs for DK. Do you think it's too much, or do you think they should do it?
That's enough.
Enough. It is a good deal, but DK is on a 1 year. I mean, you definitely got a franchise receiver if you get DK and then you are able to re-sign him. But it depends. You got to think about the cap space. If you send him here for this 1 year versus like maybe possibly drafting a rookie or getting somebody else where you can have more cap space to get another piece, you got to think about all the money savings. But I wouldn't be mad. DK is a proven receiver, and like I told you, that's like what the team probably needs right now. A proven receiver, him and Jordan Love would be a great combo.
Yeah, I mean, right now he has Geno Smith thrown to him, so I mean, that's
and he's still
he's still producing.
Charles like, yeah, Geno. Ben's got a joke about Geno. It's pretty funny. I feel like a number one would make our receiver room fall exactly where it is. Jayden Reed could grow into possibly number one, but he could be the slot, the number two option. Watson's hurt, but he give him time to come back, and you'd still have Romeo Dubs, even if you gave up Wicks in that trade, or you'd still have Wicks.
Because we have a lot of young guys in our receiver room that are all talented, but like a proven wide receiver one would definitely change the whole offense.
I feel bad if they're watching if I ever get like on TV and Wicks or anybody on the show.
I mean, I love those guys.
I think they're sick, but I just
DK Metcalf we're talking
I don't.
about.
there's levels to this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
DK Metcalf we're talking about. Come on.
Well, I mean, they have to understand that. I mean, at the end of the day, everyone, especially with even at your level, understand that it's a business.
And those guys are kind of young. They just came in last
Yeah.
year. Like, they probably grew up watching DK Metcalf too
Yeah.
their last couple of college years. Like, he's just a proven vet in the NFL. And he just showed that he belongs, and he's always a top receiver every season in and out.
And he could double up as a linebacker. You saw that pass that he did with that?
Nah, for sure.
He could line
play
a
two
couple
ways.
people up.
He can play two ways. We can put him at linebacker if
Oh.
if Quay Walker keeps
So-
getting suspended.
So Travis Hunter, do you think it's
Okay.
possible that he can actually go both ways the whole game like he did in college?
I believe so, 100%. I feel like if they use him on offense, he's going to be like a package player. But like, if you can play ball, you can play ball. Like in high school, I feel like football never changes from high school to the NFL. Like if you want to be on the
Sure.
field and you can perform on both sides, you can perform on both sides. You're proving it at every level up to this point. Why not, give him the opportunity to show that he can do that?
So were you a defensive back on defense in high school too?
I was an all-state safety as well as the receiver.
you go.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Sorry, man. I got a cold. Sinus infection. No big deal. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had to blow it. It was
Let's
like
toughen
stuff
it out.
that-
We won't
No,
won't
I
say what I
didn't want
told
to-
him when
Oh, you can tell him off the air out in a minute. We're doing it. This is a clean show. We're doing this as a family-friendly one, man. I like the artwork behind you, man. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I've this is my brand decided. I've been painting for I've
dude.
established my brand like 2022. That was my major. Got my major in fine arts. I love painting. That's like my life off the field and creating work. Decided is a brand that I've been working on for a while now. I feel like life is all about the decisions we make. And I have a message basically like, yeah, you have to be decided. You have to decide to win. You have to decide to do what you want to do, to be where you want to be. So that's like heavy on my artwork. Yeah, I'm super proud of my work.
What does life after football look like? I'm hoping it's in 10, 15 years. Do you see it as something in fine arts, or are you thinking something else?
Definitely. I'm definitely super interested in my art career. Like even as I'm in the NFL, like because it's my free time, it's my escape from football. So I never look at it as like a side thing or like I just have a passion for it. I was doing art for a long time, like as a kid. And then I got my major in it and I've been around some mentors. I've done some internships. So I've been
Nice.
super into the art world and super in tune.
That's really good stuff, dude. Seriously.
Yeah. And normally you don't really hear whenever. Okay. So as an athlete, typically jock, we'll just say
Right.
jock. We had a reputation, I guess is a good way to put it. And when you sit there and you tell me that you do the fine arts, which is really cool, it's like listening and finding out that Myles Garrett actually writes poetry. Whenever, when he's has his downtime and everything like that. Is there any other hobbies besides painting that you do?
Painting. I'm into fashion design. Like that was my whole world in college. After I left Virginia Tech, where you do get the jock image of all sports, I went to Lafayette College, and that's a fine liberal arts school. So I had to like really figure out what I wanted to do in my career and life. Say football didn't work, and I just fell in love with art and creating. Period. So I've been super into that. I've traveled, done some mentorships with art. So I'm
Awesome.
Yeah,
So we in 15 years, he's saying Paris.
possibly.
Yeah, dude.
Possibly.
I've
That'd be
actually,
awesome.
I've got a little one. I've got a stepdaughter, and one of my favorite things to do with her, I'll just, I think this is fun stuff. I'll do paintings with her, or we'll color. I started getting into these diamond puzzles where you you have thousands of pieces, and the wife does way bigger ones than I do, but you place like all the little pieces out there. Did like a beach one. It's pretty cool. It's stuff I wish I'd tapped into when I was younger. It's fun, man. That's awesome.
No, for
seriously.
sure.
Really cool. I love that and I bet your parents love this too, that you got football and you got another passion as well. I think that's awesome.
No, for sure.
Seriously.
That was always like a big thing for me, because like they say, a lot of people, like you said, a small percentage of people have the opportunity that I have right now with this football thing. But a big thing for me when I decided was like, always make sure you got a plan B that's just as good as plan A, and you're doing something that you enjoy in your career. Like you don't want to live with no regret. Like just be ready regardless for whatever happens.
I love it, dude. Seriously. Man, you got anything else?
No, sir.
This was one of my favorite shows, bud. Seriously.
I
It was an
appreciate
honor
you
to meet
guys.
you. This kind of scratched a bucket list thing for me. This was pretty awesome, man. Seriously. I wish you best of luck. I hope you come back on very soon, either before or after the NFL draft. You're welcome on anytime. Seriously, man. I had a blast. I know Med did. I know him well enough. I know he had an ops. We both had a great time. My dad enjoyed watching you. He
I appreciate you
loves.
guys.
He's gotten super into Dynasty, and he's scouting running backs and receivers every day. We did 7 mock drafts on Sleeper yesterday, and
That's
we're sitting the
insane.
draft and running backs and receivers. So my dad gets a super kick out of this. Me and him both love looking at running backs and receivers in the draft. That's both of our things. We've done this for like 15 years, so this is like.
That's an awesome bond to have for sure.
Yeah, I've done fantasy with my dad. So, quick story. My dad lied about a paper route for me when I was 10, but I was actually 9, so that I could get into fantasy over 25 years ago. I'm 36 now. He did this when I was 9 years old, a paper route in Michigan. Yeah, 2 months early, so I could save up. The league was, he'd have to put in the comments, but this was really cool. We met a dude who wrote a book about the history of fantasy football. So we've gotten to meet some people on this. And telling him that story, and he added it to his book, was super cool. But I entered the league as a 10-year-old and won. I beat my uncle. Won like $700.
He's a vet.
Yeah, it was great. It was great, dude. Seriously. It's a story I'm always going to remember, but it was so much fun. And yeah, man, seriously, like my dad's the best. So I know we got a kick out of this. We've got another player coming on in April, pass rusher. But when I told him that you were coming on, he was super excited. So thank you, man. Seriously.
I appreciate you guys having me be the first, man. It was such an honor, honestly.
Yeah, dude.
The honor's ours.
Absolutely.
So, all right. So
check out Carl Smith's Pro Day. March, you said, did you say 24th or 27th?
27th. Yes, sir.
And then the NFL draft, which is in, I wish I could go. It's in Green Bay. His Pro Day is going to be at Temple. As soon as you get stuff from it, please send it to me and I'll share it. NFL draft is late April, so good luck on your Pro Day, man. Seriously.
Thanks, man. I'm super excited.
And can you share with everybody your socials wherever everybody can find you?
Yeah, you guys can find me on Twitter at Carl Duce, CarlDuece, and on Instagram at 1K_Duce, DUECE. And yeah.
Question. Why the number 0?
Ooh, that's
0 is different. When they first made it allow people to wear it, I was like, okay, I'm gonna be remembered for this. A few guys were calling me like Zero the Hero. I was calling myself Zero the Hero for a while.
Agent Zero.
Yeah.
Like
it stand out, you know, and there's not too many zeros. You feel me? It's like the X Factor. It's like in the longest yard when the guy went out there and put on the X. That's how I felt.
No, I feel that. Yeah. And who would have thought that Nelly would be such a good football player?
And he was fast, right?
Yeah, it was ridiculously fast. Well,
Nelly was great. That was one of my favorite parts of that movie. Love that movie. Seriously. I shared this with a lot of podcasters, man. I hope they spread it. I'm going to message them and ask them personally to do so. If you want to stay on for a minute, I got some more shows that I think would love to have you on, but or that you might want to reach out to. But seriously, man, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a nice night.